Welcome back to my channel if this is not your first time, and if it is, welcome. Let's talk about the feeling of enough. Skilled enough, disciplined enough, sexy enough. And I find that enoughs often come with things like not feeling good enough to get your dream job, not feeling enough to be happy, just not enough. I don't know if this is something that you've experienced, but it's been a part of my experience and a part of the experience of people around me. Even seeing other people go through this that I don't know online and stuff like that. This is something that I've experienced for quite a bit of my life. And I would love to be able to share this with my younger self. I'd love to be able to share this with other people. I see so many people speaking about these things that I know that the message is going to be relevant for someone. So if that's you, I hear you. And I'm here to share how I've been learning to overcome, to move beyond, and how to work through this. So if it is you, sit tight, strap in, grab a cup of tea, and hang around. The concept of enoughness riddles so many people at some point in life. So you're not alone. And it also means that other people have been working to figure this out as well. It's an industry. There are whole sections of bookstores dedicated to this stuff. It also means that there's a way through. And yes, while we're all just figuring things out, I often find that when other people share their ways, I'm helped. I have come to the space that I'm in my life, in my journey, because of other people sharing. And it's something that I'm eternally grateful for. And I really feel that it's time for me to share. I was recently listening to a podcast by a Black girl in Ohm, which I adore. I can't remember exactly what Dion Ivory said, but it just really sparked a switch in me. It was something about your sharing of your experiences is what helps you move beyond your experience as well. It helps to empower others. Sometimes it's why we have these experiences. Depending on what space you are in your life, in yourself, it could be either you sharing these feelings or voicing these emotions, mindset to yourself, or you may be hearing this from someone else. It could feel like either you or the person you're listening to is just complaining. They could just sound like things that people need to just get over. But that's not the way forward. Just getting over anything is like sweeping it under the rug. To say to someone, just get over it, is also just completely belittling their experience. There's muscling your way through something, and then there's overcoming. And I'm here to share about the overcoming. I don't know if you've tried the muscling through technique before. I mean, I have personally berated myself black and blue. And to be quite honest, nothing really changed. Sure, there may have been some short-term changes, some short-term shifts, but long-term, I couldn't sustain that. It also just didn't feel good. After some time, sweat, tears, Vipassana meditation courses, good old journaling, anything for me to soak up how to fix my shit. Anything, right? It came down to me being fed up of the cycles, of the thoughts, of the feelings, me being fed up of what was going on in here and kind of in here, having an impact on my life. Out there, but I'm in there. So one day I decided to go deep. I realized I knew what to do. I knew how to help myself, but I wasn't applying the tools I'd been learning about. And as my friend once told me, to know and not to do is not to know at all. So what did I really know at all? To know and not to do is not to know. And as Goethe says, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. So I decided to get to doing some big girl work. Some work that I'd been running from and putting off for quite some time. I started journaling, but writing, it just didn't feel like it flowed enough. and there was too much time between thought and penning the words for judgment. So I started voice recording on my phone a lot. Something I realized is that beyond all the things that perhaps could just be done to provide an external fix to the issue that I was berating myself for example, not feeling good enough to create these videos for the longest time, I noticed that maybe even more than the perceived desired outcome of creating content, I actually wanted to feel enough. I wanted to feel like I could, like I was worthy enough of having a desire fulfilled, and that was worthy of the good feelings that occur when we're doing things we're passionate about. I realized that beyond most things, I desired to feel full and fulfilled. That was a big aha for me, and also a bit of a trip. I realized that I needed to begin pouring into my own cup. I decided to look at all the areas of my life that left me feeling a bit empty, or where enoughness was and is a big deal for me. I'm still uncovering these things, and while I'm moving through the realizations I've already come to, I'm still doing the work. I ask myself what things trigger me in work, relationships, conversations, etc. All the things that trigger my insecurities of not being enough, and I laid them out on a table like excavated objects from an archaeological site. I've so far dug up issues around how I feel when I'm not acknowledged in the mornings, and how I feel about my level of skill in certain spaces, and much, much more. It was time to ask myself, what else could be true? What else could be true, bitch? Building resilience in the face of these feelings, these emotions. Remembering and acting on, responding to as opposed to reacting to. Remembering that age-old yoga class metaphor of your thoughts and feelings being like clouds in the sky. Being able to just watch them float on by, not holding on to them, taking a deep breath and acknowledging them. Sometimes even saying, I hear you, I see you, now you may leave. Over time, certain practices and books and information and other people sharing has helped me to prepare for this. Helped me to prepare for this work. For actually doing the work though, I had to prepare myself for that. This is daily work. We don't just undo decades, a couple decades, a few decades of beliefs, mindset in a couple of years. So let's get prepared and then let's apply what we've been learning. Through reading The Body Keeps the Score, I've been learning about the importance of incorporating, applying practical, physical, tangible changes in my life. After all, we are physical beings. It's one thing to have affirmations, work on our mindset, connect spiritually, and the book reminds me that we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And as this human experience is physical, sometimes we have to do physical things to create changes in how we think, to rewire ourselves, build new neural pathways. When we uncover our limiting beliefs in the excavation process, we then need to put physical practices into play to help us rewire ourselves, to help us create new routines, new memories, new connections to things, to help us create new neural pathways. These practices are going to help create shifts in this third dimension in our bodies, and they'll become the new information for our feelings towards the world. Whilst we're not responsible for the events that planted these seeds of not enoughness, of inadequacies and fears within us, we are responsible for how we respond to them. No one can love us for us. That part we need to do ourselves. No one can make us feel enough. That part we need to practice ourselves. So wherever you are on your journey right now, because this is always changing, we're always growing, I just want to take a moment to remind you to be gentle and kind with yourself, to have compassion. It's a multifaceted journey, right? And we need to be able to show up for ourselves on a daily basis. If you're anything like me, that's probably challenging at times. I've always asked myself, why does it feel so weird and even icky to love on myself, care for myself, to make effort towards myself more than it does for other people that I care about? Something I've been really aware of putting into play, putting into action, is treating myself the way that I would treat others. And that's what I want you to look at in yourself. In this space of enoughness, in this space of fulfillment, how would you be treating yourself? How would you be helping yourself if you were someone else? If all of these feelings were within a friend, family member, your partner, how would you be showing up for them? I bet you would come up with so many ideas to help this person feel fulfilled, to feel enough. You would probably recommend so many things and remind them that they need to fill their cup first. So I'm reminding you of that. Your cup needs to be full too. Living in a way where you feel fulfilled, full, enough. A lot of these things start with doing things that you already know. It's about putting it into action. Take the steps that you would take to help a friend. Take a step for yourself today. Take a breath today. Learn to recognize what objective truth is and what subjective feelings, mindset, limiting beliefs could be based on past traumas, past experiences, things people have said to you in the past. That's the journey, is learning what else could be true and learning how to plant those seeds and nurture them. And much of that is in nurturing yourself. So fill your own cup. I love that I'm stepping into a space where I'm learning that I am enough to share. And even if this only touches one person and one person resonates, I'm really truly learning the value of that too. So thank you. And I don't think I've ever said this before. I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. I'm gonna test enoughness right now. And I'm gonna say that very YouTuber thing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. But what excites me most is when you guys leave a comment below. I love to hear about how you connected with this video. I hope to see you here again another time. And peace, blessings, gratitude. Will there be a day